On February 22nd and 23rd, 2013, there's going to be a gathering of women here at St. Michael's Church in Raleigh. And I'm with Melanie Jones, who is a parishioner here at St. Michael's and also happens to be the wife of the rector.
That's right.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for coming. I appreciate it.
Melanie's involved in this, and you need to hear this story. We're going to tell you more about the gathering and the details, but the story behind how the gathering came here to St. Michael's and why you and a group of women brought it here moved me profoundly. I want you to share that with our folks.
Sure, I'd love to. The women tend to get a lot done at any church, particularly this one. And we are so good at saying yes to so many calls and feeding people in our communities and around the world. Mm-hmm. What we realize is that we often don't feed ourselves. The gathering was started by a few of us who attended a similar event at my former church in Richmond, Virginia. And it brought together women for a weekend-long retreat that fed our souls. And we spent the entire 2.5-hour drive home from Richmond talking about how great it was, how we wanted to, I couldn't wait to call my mom and tell her this, or my friend and tell her this other nugget. And I was spilling with the Holy Spirit. I didn't call it that at the time. I said, oh my gosh, this was a great weekend. I loved it. And as we talked more and more, as this story kept coming up 2, 3, 6 months later, we realized we need to bring that to Raleigh. We need to get...
I mean, I know it was the Holy Spirit, and I know it was God for real, but what did they do in real?
It was women sharing their stories. The keynote speaker we heard was Annie Lamott, and she has this wonderful quote that says, "We judge ourselves from the inside and look at everybody else from the outside." And the key is that everyone is walking around with the wrong instruction manual. And we didn't feel alone, and we didn't feel crazy, and we didn't feel we had to be perfect to share where we were on our journey. And when we come together with God and with our honesty, powerful things happen.
God gets real.
God gets real.
And life does too.
Right, right.
So what are you going to do here at St. Michael?
Well, we are so excited. We have got secured a keynote speaker, Glennon Melton, who is nationally renowned for her blog, The Monastery. And in the this past...
Monastery, did you say?
Exactly. Oh. It's a play on words. She's brilliant at that. It's Monastery. She is a stay-at-home mom of 3 kids, not staying home as much anymore. And she was a regular attendee at her church, and people thought, "You're so perfect. You have it all together. Sometimes I don't feel so good about myself." And she went home and looked at her husband and her kids and looked around the messy house and said, "That's not my true story. What people think they know about me is not my true story." Mm-hmm. And so she started sharing it through her blog. It started with just 400 or 500 people following. In this past year, she has over 51,000 followers, which led to a book deal. Yeah, exactly. Lucky her. Right. So her first book, Carry On Warrior, is coming out from Simon & Schuster in April. Yeah, so she will be here. We'll have book plates for her to sign. And we'll place those in the book once they arrive from the publisher. So
not only is she coming, but she's got an incredible story, and she's a powerful person. I actually follow the blog myself.
Yeah.
But there are some workshops here, and I mean, as a guy, I wanted to come to these. Right. But tell us about these workshops.
No men allowed. Kevin Kerstetter, our organist, is the only one, and then of course we have lots of behind-the-scenes help where the men will support us. I think there's 6 people to choose from. We have an Episcopal priest coming from Tennessee who is leading intercessory prayer retreat. We have Reggie Edwards locally from Raleigh, who is the head of the Encouraging Place, which tries to have women reach out to other women and again share their stories. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Women love to connect. Women, we share everything from, "I got this great laundry detergent, you really should try it," to my child was bullied at school last week. I don't know what to do. And so we want to put that in our faith context. You know better than anyone, Episcopalians like to sit there
No.
in the pew. And so we did this for the first time in 2011. All of those norms were thrown out the window. We even had a hymn sing on Saturday morning in which every single woman was singing.
In the Episcopal Church?
In the Episcopal Church. And Kevin stood up afterwards and said, I haven't heard that in so long. The voices of 200 women singing together. And people were elbowing each other to throw out which hymn they wanted to hear. First it was request by shout out. So it was very, very special.
And is it women of all ages?
Women of all ages. Last year, or in 2011, we had people from as young as 28. We'd love to have them a little bit younger, as up to 83. We are handicap accessible for the whole weekend, and we would, love to have all ages and can accommodate.
Now, do you have to be Episcopalian to come?
Definitely not Episcopalian to come.
Do you have to be Christian to come?
No.
All God's children.
All God's children.
As long as
That's
they're
right.
Eve's children.
That's right. Yes. So we have a speaker coming from Greensboro who is an expert on labyrinth walking. We have a labyrinth on our grounds, but she's also bringing a portable one if the weather doesn't cooperate. So really a wide range of offerings depending on sort of what your bent is.
What an awesome... This is an incredible opportunity, and we just thank St. Michael's and thank you and all the women here who are offering this to our wider diocese and wider community.
Thank you. We do. We have gotten responses from as far as Virginia and South Carolina so far. We would love to have, from all parts of our diocese, most definitely.
Well, Melanie, thank you. Thank you, St. Michael's. You got to get here for the gathering. I wish I could be here, but I won't be able to be here, but I'll be here in spirit. The gathering, the information on that is included with this edition of Please Note. God bless you.
Thank you very much.
And God bless you, and keep the faith.